Welcome to Fulcrum 6.0. I'm Kavya, a general management student at XLRI Jamshedpur, and I come with a work experience of 3.5 years at Accenture with an expertise in Salesforce CRM transformation. Joining me today is Ms. Karthiga Anand, Managing Director at Accenture, where she leads a smart connected products portfolio overseeing $600 million plus programs and over 1,500 professionals across North America, Europe, Asia, Pacific, and China. Over more than 23 years, her work has spanned digital transformation, global delivery, and innovation at scale for Fortune 500 clients across industrial, financial, healthcare, and public sectors. From enabling intelligent transit healthcare and from enabling intelligent transit systems to delivering great productivity gains, Ms. Karthika, welcome to Fulcrum 6.0. Before we dive into our questions today, there was an observation from your LinkedIn profile that I saw, ma'am. So I see you're currently pursuing your strategic management for CXO business administration and management at IIM Kozhikode, which is a 1-year course. This brings us to a question about how impactful and what add-ons do you think 1-year MBA programs add to one's career profile? What do leaders look at, and what are the expectations from 1-year MBA students in India according to you?
It's a very good question. I would say, yeah, I've been pursuing the CXO program with the intention of, like, say, tomorrow I do a startup. I want to get into a entrepreneurship, and I wanted to start a startup, and then what I should look for. Today, though, my organization has given me a lot of opportunities where I take care of end to end of the things for my client, but when it comes that you own your own organization, your own company, what exactly you need to look forward. And I'm a person where I believe in take a 10 steps, look for a 10 steps ahead and see what is there for you.
Yes.
So I thought, okay, what will happen tomorrow? I be a CEO of my own organization. So what kind of skills that I provide? So again, in one word, if I need to tell what is expected or what is needed for a 1-year MBA programs, is definitely you all come with a blended experience, both from a technical sector or from a non-technical sectors. But then this MBA program is going to blend you with different other aspects of knowing world beyond your limits. And I think this experience is going to be a memory for you throughout your career, which will help you where you need to apply what and where you should not. So it also brings a lot of emotional intelligence when you need to take some decisions in the world of AI.
Yes, okay. That's a great insight, ma'am. Thank you. And okay, now coming back to the questions everyone in the industry is asking. Consulting margins have historically been protecting by billing for hours and expertise that clients could not easily replicate. Now that generative AI can produce a first draft of analysis in minutes, what part of traditional fee model do you think is genuinely broken, and what part is just uncomfortable to defend right now?
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Like today, the client comes and say, if I need to say before AI, we go out to the client and tell that, okay, I'll give you 10 consultants and we will finish this work in 18 weeks. So the client trusts on the effort.
Yes.
And then the project is getting executed. But today in the world of AI, the question of effort is gone, because everybody knows this AI predominantly increasing, and the question is more about productivity. But the client is also becoming very smart. Why should I pay you 40% extra when most of these works are done by AI?
Yes.
And that is where the question about what I am doing, or what my consultants are going to do, or what as an organization, what I am going to deal with the client. So my answer to your question would be like, the entire revenue model is changing today. There are a lot of new revenue models has come in. So gone are the days where we talk about a fixed price and the time and material. So now I think it is all outcome based effort. So the question of effort is gone, but the question of efficiency and outcome is what the new model I would see. So the clients are not going to ask you how many people you are going to deploy to get this work done. Rather, will I get a 40% efficiency improved? Will I get my 40% of my maintenance cost getting reduced? So these are going to be the new model, I would say.
That is a great insight, ma'am. Outcome based is something that we are also looking forward to. Okay. So when a client asks why should they pay a premium rate for a work that AI tool can approximate for free, what is an honest answer that you give them? In plain terms, that goes beyond by simply saying the human touch still matters. What else do you say that would actually convince the client?
Um, yeah, I mean, it's a question generally that every client will ask, and yes, like we do deal with this kind of clients day in and day out. So the first question for your question about why should a client should pay more when most of the work is done by the AI?
And ma'am, that is what if clients ask.
I know.
Not
What is that client asks? So yes, most of the work is done by AI, and especially in the world of analytics. Like say, today the way AI is playing a pivotal role in the end-to-end delivery to the client, right? Starting from the business case studies, analysis of the business case studies, and then putting it in the form of a requirement so that my technical team can understand that requirement and then build the entire platform or a product and then deploy it to the client is what the end-to-end delivery actually does. But today you see AI is everywhere, where I would say, to be very honest, I would say that 40% of effort is getting reduced across the stream, like across the cycle. But the question from client is about why should I pay the extra 40% because you already doing everything with your AI, then why should I pay for you? So my answer would be very simple. Nobody is going to wait for your initial analysis or the analytics what your AI is giving. But is there somewhere where we should be able to, there should be a human in loop where they should be able to judge certain things what is coming from AI. I think that is something which only human can do at this point of time. So my answer would be that if we trust everything AI can do it, then tomorrow when we look back, when we say that my operation cost is still not reduced, I have heard this from clients. We use so many automations, we used AI and we delivered few things, but still my maintenance cost is not coming down. So that is where I think the human in loop will come, where they will say that there would be some industry expert that you would need. Somebody asked me a question about there is a problem statement in an industry like say oil and gas or in a telecom industry or even in a healthcare industry. Now, only the industry experts would be able to define what is needed for them because it's very difficult. You totally depend on what your models is going to predict and give. So at some point of time, there is a minimal effort definitely needed from the human, and I think that is the cost that what the client is going to pay.
Yes, absolutely, ma'am. Okay. So, large firms like Accenture have scale, brand, and delivery networks that smaller boutiques do not. Is that scale becoming a shield against fee pressure, or is it starting to feel like a cost center that AI is quietly making harder to justify?
I won't say it is yes or no, but then I would say that again coming back to my point, like the fee pressure, right? Like the fee pressure is mainly because there are a lot of myths around AI,
Yeah.
and that's the reason the client is assuming that yes, there is a, there is a reduction of XYZ effort, so I should not be charged for those XYZ activities because this is not something by you, it's something done by your mission or some by your AI or model, whatever you call it, right? But to be very honest, right, like again, I'm coming to the point of expertise. This definitely is needed, and to answer your question, like the organizations, any consulting organization, I'm not just saying Accenture, but any consulting organizations are looking forward on how to bring a new revenue model, and they try to reinvent the way or the ways of working which will help the client to sustain, with the AI, because when the transformation is happening through AI, I think there's a question of sustainability is also needed. And I think that is where the decision about it's not that everywhere you can apply AI.
Yeah.
I mean, as a human, I should know where I have to apply AI and where few things which I don't need AI. Because if you see that tokenomics is also one of the key concept that is coming around. So even for a daily activity, which is very simple, where I don't need any validations. Okay, I know 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Of course, AI is not going to tell me anything different. So should I really apply AI there to get that? No, right? So those are some places where I would see this. But again, to answer the question, the fee pressure is mainly because of the myth that AI is done everything, so I should be reduced. No. So rather than that, question yourself, like, what is the outcome this, like, say maybe Accenture or any organization for that matter, what is it they brought in, right? Like, it's totally an outcome driven efficiency is what I would look forward when it comes for the fee structure.
That is a very powerful point, ma'am. Okay. So my next question is: a lot of consulting leaders talk about moving from time-based billing to value-based or outcome-based pricing, just like how we just had a conversation. So in practice, what makes that shift so hard to actually execute, even for firms that want to do it?
Sorry, you can come again with the question.
So, a lot of consulting leaders talk about moving from time-based billing to value-based or outcome-based pricing. In practice, what makes that shift so hard to actually execute for firms?
What makes it hard
Hard.
to execute,
Yes.
right? What makes it hard to execute is because I mean, it is not well received by every end. Like, it takes a lot of time for people to understand what AI can do, and of course what human can do, most of us know. But then what is hard to execute is mainly because today we have multiple barriers. Like, for example, the premium skills are very much underrated. When I say a premium skill, I'm not talking about somebody is having XYZ knowledge on so many years of experience on that particular product or on that particular industry, right? So they assume that AI will be able to win over these minds, which is not true.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
so I feel that these are some things which we really need to look into it, and these are the premier skills that I will call that in any consulting world people should receive. For example, the first hand reports whatever your AI is giving, right? It's all very well initially when you start your career as a management consultant. Of course, I did mine also. When you started those cases, so the initial work what we do is creating a business case, or creating some requirements what my client needs, or doing some analytics. So all of that is done by AI today. But out of whatever AI is doing today, how many of those matters a lot is something which only human can tell. So in that way, I see that the consulting mind is still there, except that I can use it, like, say, better consulting, or a consulting with an AI enabled consulting is what I would say.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of governance that is needed, AI governance needed, and then in the field of cybersecurity, or in the field of AI governance, AI consulting, I think those are the cases. Definitely, this is needed.
Yes. So AI consulting would be an underrated skill, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, ma'am. So, if a client's project scope shrinks because AI tools now do the groundwork that used to take a team of analysts week to complete, how do you reprise that engagement in a way that still feels fair to both the sides? Like, how would you we understood that we would say about the outcomes as of how, but when clients directly ask you about it, and they have done their own groundwork about a particular project, and they come and they give you a certain scenario that this can be done with an AI, this can be done with an AI, but you have a different perspective. How would you actually bridge that gap between the clients and the project team?
So one way of doing that is talking about your success stories. And when I talk about a success story, it's not about, oh, I on a full big bang, I'll tell that, okay, these are my technologies, these are things by AI, and I got this much of productivity. No, I'm not meant by that. What I'm telling the success story is about, because every organization's ecosystem is very different. A consulting organization and a product organization both are different aspects. So if I have to go and convince my client saying that, okay, this is where you need to apply AI and this is where you get your efficiency. So when you apply AI on certain cases, you may see productivity, but you may not see efficiency.
Okay.
You may see an outcome, but it may not be sustainable for a long time, right? So I think those are the perspectives that we need to do our analytics, and that's where many of my analysts will be able to help me out to tell that what will work for this client with AI and what will work for this client without AI, right? So as such, AI is concerned, people are just having a myth that anybody will get a productivity. It's not that. So I feel that that's how it stays there. So I can go and convince the client, okay, on these areas you can apply AI, you get an efficiency and you get an outcome based productivity, and you would be able to use this for years, right? And then maybe I can negotiate with them on a subscription based model. So on a nutshell, I would say that earlier days, client would say, be very happy, okay, I give this work to you, like say to Accenture, you complete it in 18 months and you give us an output. And now it's changing. Like now they are saying that straightforwardly, if you do AI, will I get a 40% maintenance cost reduction? That was 1 year back. That was a scenario when we were discussing with multiple clients. But tomorrow's world, based on all this revenue model and things, what I'm seeing is I should be able to provide client a consulting service with a technology enabled with AI and with a subscription model for which they will pay. So that's how the end-to-end will work, and that's how the roles will be shaped in future.
Okay. Very good. Yes, ma'am. So about the subscription model, I have a question about that as well. So 1 second. Huh. 3 years from now, do you think that the standard consulting fee structure will exist in a recognizable form, or will it have been replaced by something closer to a subscription or licensing model? Just like, so do you see it as a complete future for all the firms, or like how do you see the future as?
I would say yes and no. Because not all the consulting firms are strictly following this, or I would definitely say still there is a lot of change needed even in the consulting firms to adopt AI, right?
Yes.
One is adoption, we talk about it, but then it's not just I have adopted AI so I would see a change here. No. So there's a lot of blended activities that we need to look forward. People are still more transactional about what AI is doing, what AI is not doing. But we need to take a step ahead and see that what is that my client will feel that that is efficient and it is operational for them, and at the same time it is like consistent, right? So we say it is efficient because now most of the consulting firms have adopted AI and they are delivering AI to client, but on the next phase, we give efficiency to them, probably say 40% or a 50% efficiency. But then what is the operating model for those, right? It needs to keep running. So again, I go back to the same point, like we need to deliver something to the client which is very much easily operationable, and at the same time their efficiencies are increasing every year.
Yeah.
I think that's where I think your subscription model should be. So many of those SaaS model, what we talk about it today, may blend a lot with the newer AI processes, and based on which the client will definitely would be able to take a call about the licensing model. But I think that's what the entire world is moving towards it. Maybe it's only very few organizations are talking. And even if you take the many of the consulting firms today, they are not just doing consulting. They are even doing a productization also. So, and if you see, it's like they started with consulting, that they are doing the productization, now they are selling the product, so it is coming back. So I think moving forward, you don't see, if I would be definitely be surprised if any of the consulting firm is just doing only consulting.
Yeah, that is a great stance, ma'am. So the next question is, if a client came to you today and said their board wants 30% reduction in the consulting spend because of AI, what AI can do in your now? I mean, I think we have covered this question already in the previous conversation, but I've just to finish it, because of what AI can do now in-house, what would your honest first response, like without thinking anything, what would your first response be?
My first response is I will give back. Like, I literally don't like somebody coming and telling me that this organization or this vendor is giving me a 30% reduction.
Yeah.
I definitely don't buy that, because the way I'm very confident about what we deliver and the way that we deliver and the process we deliver it. So in that way, I will not buy that easily to the client that somebody is giving them a 30%, because I mean, to me, when anybody confidently tells that I can give you this for 40%, I can give you for 50%. Yes, for example, if you wanted to buy a glass, you have different ways you have different modes to buy the glass, first of all. And second thing is, it all depends upon where you want to use the glass, right? And so you can go to the local market and buy a glass, and you also have some online shopping where you can buy a glass, and you can also buy a glass by customizing it and getting that for you. So it all depends upon if somebody is saying 30% I give you, I would definitely say it would be something like a local shop where they wanted to do something. So every price tag has come with its value.
Yes.
So when they talk about 30% reduction or the 30% discount of what they are getting, definitely the other side, what they need to look is about the efficiency and the outcome.
Absolutely, ma'am. That's very honest of you. And ma'am, we have a small rapid fire round where I'll ask you one question and you have to tell me one word or one sentence that you immediately think of whenever I ask you that question.
Okay.
So, one pricing myth about consulting you wish clients would stop believing.
Same thing, what we discussed before. Somebody is giving me 40%.
Okay. One phrase from a fee negotiation you wish you can ban forever. From a fee negotiation you wish you can ban forever. One phrase.
Okay, fee negotiation, definitely I will bang in terms of the quality.
Yeah. Yes. Complete the sentence. The firms that protect their margins over the next decade will be the ones that
will survive ever.
Oh, wow. That is actually so quick. I mean, I am also not able to think. The most underrated skill for protecting margins in the age of Gen AI.
I've already told you. AI consulting and AI responsible AI advisory. So there's a lot of terminologies that people are using, but still consulting still have a lot of work in the field of AI.
That's right, ma'am. And the last question, the biggest danger to consulting fees right now is?
The biggest? Sorry, I didn't
The
get
biggest danger to consulting fees right now is?
Is mainly because only people thinking only from an effort perspective, not from the outcome perspective.
Yes. Okay. That is a very sharp way to close it, ma'am. Thank you so much. Ms. Karthiga, ma'am, I have to say this has been one of the most candid and genuinely useful conversation we've had on Fulcrum 6.0. You didn't just give us the polished version of the story, you were honest about what is broken, what is uncomfortable, and what firms are still figuring out in real time. And that kind of transparency is exactly what we as students are also looking for. from how you think about reprising engagements to protecting the judgment that junior consultants build over time. Every answer gave us something that we can actually sit with and think about long after this episode ends. On behalf of everyone listening and speaking, as someone who's walked in the halls of a firm like this myself, thank you so much for your time and your generosity in sharing these insights with us today. It has genuinely been an honor to have you on Fulcrum 6.0, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you so much.